Steve, good job with the headlines. Now this. Debt collectors are constantly harassing people who have fallen behind on their payments. But by law, creditors are only allowed to go so far. So how much is too much?
Well, let's go to Fox News legal analyst Bob Massi. He is going to tell us what creditors can and cannot do by law because he's a lawyer. Good morning to you, Bob.
Good morning, Gretchen.
All right, so we have a quiz for you today. The first question is this. Is there a law that regulates what a creditor can and can't do?
Yeah, it's the Collection Practices Act. It's been in existence for many years, and it was designed, and with all the foreclosures and things we've talked about, the abuse of what creditors are doing to debtors is higher than ever before. So this law was put in effect years ago to say, wait a second, if in fact you owe something, then there's some guidelines that must be followed. And if, in fact, those guidelines are not followed, Gretchen, the consequences legally can be devastating to a creditor. So I want our viewers to know that there are guidelines that are here, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
All right. Can you legally be contacted at work by creditors?
Well, here's the deal. They have the right to contact you, Brian, but once you tell that creditor that it is the policy of this employment that you cannot be contacted, then by law, they are not entitled to contact you any longer. The problem is, excuse me, is that many of them continue to do it anyway. And that gets to the level of harassment, and that gets to the level of violating the Federal Practices Act, and therefore there's legal consequences for that.
So you got to go get a lawyer then?
Well, at least get some advice. And then there's different kinds of letters that could be written to stop that type of action.
Now, that's good to know. I bet most people don't know that. All right, this question for you, Bob. Can a debt collector act as a law firm on letterhead? Is that a way to try and fool you, maybe?
Yeah. You know what, Gretchen? This is probably one of the biggest abuses out there. People will get letters from a collection agency with what appears to be something that either is from the court or something that is from a law firm. And that violates the act that's in existence right now because you cannot false advertise. You cannot mislead the consumer and the debtor. Again, if those type of things happen, then there is a consequence and there's things that you can do. And one of the things that we talk about in this whole credit issue is if, in fact, you are being harassed, if there are violations, if, for example, they're contacting you at work and they refuse to, then there are divisions in every state, and you contact the Attorney General's office, and there are specific divisions there where you have the right to file a formal complaint with that division to have some type of action against the collection agency or that debt collector. So there are remedies available that are not expensive for the homeowner to pursue that.
Bob Massi in the city that really doesn't sleep anymore. It's still raging behind you over in Nevada.
It's 5:30 in the morning, guys. It's 5:30 in the morning here.
You can handle it, Bob. Thanks so much.
Guys.
Thanks for getting up so early for us.